Good morning, beautiful spirits. This is Myron Magnus. Listen to another segment of Pure Pugilism, Boxing Logic. I'm about to play a throwback interview of Mike Tyson, exposing the boxing industry. Now, this is not for you diehards, because I'm sure all of you have already saw this. This is for the casuals, okay? Because we need to bring casuals back into the sport of boxing so the boxing can actually flourish like we would like. If there's more money in the pot, more money to be made, more fighters will be more reluctant, of course, to fight each other instead of holding on to the zero. Holding on to the O. Your statement holds no merit, as Keith Thurman said to BB Sports. But check this out. I seen this years and years ago, and I thought about it because I wanted to explain to some how what Mike Tyson is about to explain to us has manifested, or is exactly the same what goes on here on the internet. Okay? Exactly the same thing. Some of you right now who's listening to me probably already know the video I'm about to play. But again, this is for the decafs and the casuals, okay? And again, listen carefully. It's only going to take 2.5 minutes.
What do you think about 50 being into the boxing business now, man? Like, you know, he's a boxing promoter now. What do you think about that?
This interview is from 2012.
Listen, I wish 50 Cent the best luck in the world in this endeavor that he's doing. But this is something that 50 Cent has to know, that when you're dealing with something like boxing and you're dealing with human beings, you know, we call it peddling in flesh. Even though you're paying them, it's still, you know, dealing in flesh, you know.
Wow. Peddling flesh.
People are life in general is very short and it's unpredictable, but life is more unpredictable than it is short. So you have to understand you're dealing with human beings, so you're dealing with the probability of anything happening. And you have to also know this about boxing. It's the only business in the world, it's the only business, legalized business, that everything is not always on top of the table. There's always something under the table.
Secret shit going
There's
on.
always, it's not going to work. This is how it works.
And why is that in 2012 that, you know, boxing is still...
It should be taken over by the government, I believe.
You know, it doesn't have like a governing body like the NFL or
no,
the NBA.
Exactly. Just like, look, 50 Cent this is like 50 he's a rap star. 50 is an entertainer. 50 is an entrepreneur. And 50 don't really know the ins and outs of boxing. He knows probably what Floyd tells him. But once he gets in this arena,
it's a rap.
Once he gets in this arena, anybody that was ever his friend that's on the other side is his enemy. Their job is to totally decimate him financially and get him out of the business.
Yo, that's crazy.
All right, so anybody, any fighters, anybody that's
internet,
they're not on your team.
Social media.
This is what it is. It's a gang. Boxing was developed from gangs. You know, the old Irish guys, the old Dutch guys. It was a guy named Jim Bleacher.
Wow.
And he always, and he always put his slash on his corner. So that's how we got the red and blue corner. But you know what the red means? That's my gang. That's the representation of the gang, my political gang. If I win this fight, like the ancient, if I win this fight against your champion, it's all gangs. Gangs. It's all originated from gangs. The whole world. If my gang wins this fight, we own the whole district until you get a champion that can beat my fighter. If you don't want to accept that challenge, my gang against your gang, then a lot of people die. So they pick their champion and his champion, and the red represents, and the blue, Democrat and Republican.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what the corners represent. No one knows that, but it represents Democrat and Republican.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay. That's the end of that interview. That interview was only 2 minutes and 28 seconds long. Well, not the entire interview, but this clip was. And I, unfortunately, cannot find any more clips. I will have to go to, I guess it's called Woollywood Shuffle. The Woollywood Shuffle is, I guess, was the name of the radio show. And probably to see the entire video or see the whole video in its entirety. But Let's start the music up. All right, let's get back into the Magnus groove. I wanted to play that because gangs exist on the internet, on YouTube, all over social media. I was really perturbed how anything about heavyweight boxing, Joshua, Wilder, Fury, is getting thousands and thousands of views. I noticed it early. I played along with it early. And oh, by the way, Beats by DJ Premier. I played along with it early. But I'm the type of dude that will not be put in a box. Because if I'm put in a box, my overall vision is impaired. I love boxing. Straight up. I was in an interview, or a conversation with a guy named Nick Reyes on an older video of mine. I think it was about, the video I believe it was about we should make PEDs legal, steroids legal in boxing. And he's trying to push in my mind that Floyd was juicing. And I'm saying, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the quite difference in his body shape, or body mass, I should say. And the different things, how Floyd altered his fighting game to compensate for his brittle hands. Because the guy tried to use Floyd's hands as an example why he honestly tried to say Floyd is taking juice for his defensive style. And I thought the kid was ridiculous. But I say no, I think Floyd changed up his defensive style or changed up his fighting style. But Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd, was more offensive. Money Mayweather was more defensive. And because he had brittle hands and he knew it, and he talked about it quite often early in his career, that's why he perhaps changed his fighting style to be more defensive and not really throwing punches with full velocity or full strength, full force. If you watch Floyd box, he pops shots. And it looked like he may only be throwing about 70-80% of his power. I think that's why Floyd, because of the brittle hands, Floyd was such inherited bloodline, a boxing genius in the ring, that he had the ability to change up his style and still win matches. Because by then he had become a big name anyway. You know what I'm saying? And he had become the pay-per-view star worldwide. And the guy said, well, that's because you're a Floyd fan. Little did he know, I was a bigger fan of Pacquiao more than I've ever been a bigger fan of Floyd Mayweather. And I said to him, you know, I lost a lot of money, a lot of bets, betting against Floyd Mayweather, pardon me, over the last 10, 15 years, bro. You know how much money I lost betting against Floyd Mayweather? You know what I'm saying? So, bro, you assuming shit. I was a humongous Pacquiao fan. I thought Pacquiao was an actual phenom, a one of a kind, until Floyd tried to say or propose, let's do Olympic style testing under stricter and shorter schedules and regulations. And when Pacquiao ran and Bob Arum covered for him, Bob Arum, not Don King, Bob Arum covered for him, saying this and that, I won't let you bully my fighter, and all this, and blase, blase. And then Pacquiao ran after that, became a senator, blase, blase. I was like, damn, it hurt my motherfucking heart. It hurt my heart, because Pacquiao was on First Take, all this and all that, and was calling out Floyd Mayweather, saying Floyd Mayweather's afraid of him and all this stuff, when he put on the shades and shit. And I'm like, but when Floyd said that, or proposed Olympic-style testing, and all during this time, of course, the orange powder and all this thing with Alex Ariza and all that was coming up, and everybody was dropping Alex Ariza as a trainer, they had to say, damn, Pac was using that shit for his stamina. Now, it hasn't been proven. This is just me and speculation. I still think Pacquiao is a magnificent fighter, and I'm still a fan of Pac. I love Pac, but that threw a serious in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. He ain't never reply after that. But I say that all to say is, just because I pick against my fan or pick against the person I'm a fan of doesn't mean I'm a fan of the person I'm picking to win the fight. I'm not blind. I can see my favorite fighter's strengths and weaknesses. And if he's going to get somebody that I believe going to expose them, I'm going to pick the other fighter. Now, I was wrong. I was a Mayweather hater, but I was like, as I told you in a couple of videos before, I always go for the underdog. Diego Corrales. Well, I knew Floyd was going to, well, I didn't know Floyd was going to bank him, but I seen so many wars that Diego Corrales was in, I knew Diego Corrales was going to give Floyd a run for his money, but he didn't. I knew Ricky Hatton was going to get smashed. I thought Arturo Gatti was going to give him a battle. He didn't. So, as I said to the young guy, you know, sooner or later, you have to come to the grips that Floyd is just a miraculous fighter, inherited at birth. When you have a freaking father and an uncle that are world-class fighters and champ, it was his birthright. That's all he knew. So, people, in the debate section, the comment section, just because a person is picking somebody else to win a fight doesn't mean they're a fan or a humongous fan of that person. You know what I'm saying? They just going with logic. Because see, you're attacking them as if they're a part of the game, like Mike Tyson said, when they're not. They may just have an honest opinion about a situation or a fighter that they come to grips with and being straight up. So stop assuming everybody that is with this guy or with that guy, that this guy is a racist. This guy going with this guy because he's black. This guy going with this guy because Irish. Don't get me wrong. That's very prevalent in the comment section when we speaking about this emotional sport called boxing. But it's not always. So don't rush to judgment assuming, as in my situation, that I'm a huge Mayweather fan. Because I'm saying one fighter is perhaps juicing, but Mayweather wasn't. Or this, or that, or this one, or that one. Or a white one versus a black one. Or a black one versus a white one. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. But remember, boxing is full of gangs. And they all through the fucking internet. Big time. I didn't like trying to have to always talk about Wilder, Joshua, in the heavyweight division, because I love the sport of boxing as a whole. And the gangs, as you see, don't like it if I'm talking about everything in boxing. That's why you see my views have dropped down significantly. So I did this video so for all of y'all to know, the casuals, you see me doing 200, 300, 400, go down a playlist. There was 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and all this and that. But the gangs ain't supporting me anymore, because I'm not going to strictly talk about the heavyweight division. These are gangs, people, whether you're in a red corner or blue corner. And all they all about is pushing the fighter that they're supporting, or profiting off directly or indirectly. Again, this is for the casuals, not for you diehards. Alright? So if you see my numbers and see how they drop, this is because I ain't playing along with the game. I'd rather struggle with 200 or 300, 400 views than to play by any of you guys' rules. This is madness. One love, pure pugilists. This is Boxing Logic. Manifesting altruistic greatness now, united spirits. I'm out.